Ice Nine Kills, Funeral Derangements, live in Riverside, California. Spencer is a beast of a vocalist. I'm excited to see and hear how this live performance comes off. Manner of screamed textures there. It sounds amazing, and what's cool is there's slightly different approaches in addition to different vocalists doing things. And it allows each vocalist to explore different types of spaces with their screams because they can sort of trade off and lean into each other. Really cool interaction. Let's go back and I'll name some engagements and techniques. And then as we continue to listen, you can maybe put your ears on, well, which technique you think that particular scream is, or that one, as they continue to trade off and layer in this live performance. Sigh-based, low false chord engagement. So, we have one vocalist in the false chord realm. We have the other vocalist engagement. Then we have Spencer leaning into his primary chord and compression technique. Sometimes. Upper constricted, or what a lot of people would consider to be a fry scream. If you'd like help learning how to hone these techniques and sensations necessary to do this kind of screaming and amazing singing, click the link below and join my free voice course. And I'll help you draw things out of your voice you never knew were there. You can find the link in the pinned comment or the video description. There, even though that's a similar pitch as what we just heard, it's a looser sounding scream. They say behind those gates. That's very different than Those are different techniques. They're placed differently in the vocal tract. The looser sounding one is based off of the sigh technique that Will Ramos does a lot of, that low with a different mouth shape. Different than we can get a similar pitch basis or shape with each one, but one of them's tighter and one of them's looser. It's cool to hear them juxtaposed as different vocalists contribute different things in this performance. You can hear the singer go low, behind, and then we have the fry engagement right after that. And there's a pitch scream. You hear his real voice in there, his primary chords engaged. It's like a note sort of sung, even though there's not a note going for it. You hear much more of the vocalist's vocal quality in there than you do the other two types. This is so cool, the way they've arranged this. There you can really hear that difference in engagement, right? Upper constriction and lower constriction. Ping-ponging back and forth between the two different vocals like a call and answer. Sky! Compress! One killer live performance. I'm excited to dig into more of Ice Nine Kills and Spencer's voice. If you'd like more clarification on all the different types of screams I was discussing and demonstrating during this video, be sure to check out this video on my 3 types of screams. And again, if you'd like more help dialing in the things necessary to do these kinds of extreme engagements with your voice, click that link below and join my free course. You can find it in the pinned comment or the video description. We'll see you for more. Here's a quick test you can do to see if your voice is warmed up. This is assuming you've already done some warm-ups. Pick an upper chest note, a note that you can belt. Hey! Then flip back and forth between chest and head voice on that same note. Do different vowels. Ooh, 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 ee. If you're able to make that transition and have good closure, so a pure tone after that flip into your head voice, there's a strong chance you are well warmed up. If you feel raspy or you feel like that transition isn't able to be very abrupt, then you need to do a little bit more. One of the most common problems that plagues singers: how to improve your pitch. There's something sweet in your eyes, someone sweet in my arms, sweet in your eyes. to improve your pitch with the help I'm going to give you in this video. But if you don't understand the other basic aspects of what creates a great voice, you will still not be able to grow the voice you've always wanted. If you want help getting the voice you've always wanted, click the link below in the pinned comment or the video description and join my free course. I'll give you the full foundation you need to take your voice where you want to take it. Now, when one of my private students or someone I'm recording says, I just have general pitch problems, or with this particular part of the song, I can't seem to stay on pitch, or I'm tone deaf, I tell them, you don't have a pitch problem. Relax. Instead, you likely have a placement problem. The first and best way to improve your pitch is to learn to place your voice in ways that help you center on a pitch. Let me show you. I'm going to strum a G chord. And then, while looking at this tuner, I'm going to try to sing a B, which is the third of G. Now, I'm going to watch this and I'm going to adjust the note's placement. I'm singing a B in my chest voice, and you're going to notice something very interesting regarding placement. Do you see what happened? When I was swallowing the note, I was flat, and without trying to change my pitch accuracy, I started placing the note less in the back of my throat and bringing it forward. And I modified the vowel a little bit, but I wasn't necessarily going for a vowel change. I was going for a placement adjustment. Now, as I bring my placement less slower and more forward, I draw the note sharp. And there's a balance in placement that helps me hit the note more dead on. This is a feel thing, and it takes practice. Over time, you will learn if you are constantly being flat, you'll learn to bring things a bit more forward, or to not swallow, or to brighten up. Note, this is way different than simply smiling. Watch what happens if I simply smile to try to draw the note around without adjusting my placement. It doesn't really work. Now, smiling can be part of adjusting my placement if I do all those things. Larynx height, shape of the back of the vocal tract or the back of the tongue. I am not consciously thinking about raising or lowering the pitch. I'm just moving the placement around, and this is helping me adjust my pitch. This is a way easier way to do it. Now, you may not like the initial tonalities that are coming out of your mouth while you're playing with your placement to improve your pitch, and that's okay. This is an exercise in developing pitch consciousness through placement, and this stuff is sticky. It will inform your muscle memory, and then you can work on adjusting your placement for ideal tones later. A note on hearing yourself. If you find yourself consistently being sharp or above the pitch when you're in a band setting or a loud setting with your voice, singing with lots of other instruments, you are likely not able to hear yourself as much as you'd like to. So unconsciously, you're like, I don't want to be flat. You push the pitch up a little bit to compensate for that. If you find yourself being consistently flat over a passage of music and you're playing with everybody, you are likely hearing yourself too much. So don't neglect to get a good, comfortable mix in your ears. I practice a lot with headphones on so that I hear the feedback of my voice through the signal chain, even when I'm just playing with my guitar. This helps me hear my voice in context with all the other things that I'm hearing, and it's very important that I have that level correct. For more on developing placement and interest in your voice, check out this video. And again, if you would like help developing your voice and the fundamentals needed to really take your voice to the next level, click that link below in the pinned comment or the video description and join my free course. We'll see you for more. It's really less about the length of your practice and more about the quality of your practice. Ask yourself these questions to determine a healthy length and to help you use the time you have to practice to be the most effective with your voice and creativity. What kinds of other activities throughout the day use your voice in a strenuous way or maybe not so strenuous way? What kinds of things are you practicing? Songs? Are you practicing singing with distortion? Are you practicing singing softly? Are you practicing in your head voice? Is your practice consisting of lots of variety? What are you practicing for? Does what you're working towards involve a lot of mental energy, or is it more strenuous on your vocal technique and stamina? Answering these questions is going to help you determine what's healthy for you based on what you're doing and how you're doing it. In other words, listen to your body and make decisions. Hey, Chris Liepe here with some new 21 Pilots, which incidentally happens to be one of my favorite bands at the moment. I love Tyler Joseph's voice and how they reinvent themselves in subtle and not so subtle ways with each album, and that goes for his voice too. Let's see what this new single's got. Then I heard, "Hey kid, get out of the road." I'm exaggerating this, but I think it's really important that we understand that Tyler's grit does not come from necessarily just pushing harder. Get out of the road! It's lacking that aggressiveness. It's, "Hey kid, get out of the road! Get out of the road!" And this sigh thing that's happening with his voice, or this desperation, is coming out in this broken voice. And you hear this, I did an older video on Tyler Joseph. You hear this all throughout his career. When he gets desperate, he gets broken. And you hear that in his voice. And you can practice this safely from a technique standpoint. Just practice sighing. And make your sighs more and more exasperated. Get out of the road! What's about to happen? Then there's this release afterward, this pent-up energy that he has when he's that frustrated, and then sort of a reverse sigh, or really just a different way to sigh. Tyler's voice is built on sighs. I hear a lot of people say, you can't teach this kind of great singing. And I really disagree. You just have to come about it in two different ways with an open mind. The first, you have to be very willing to be stupid and non-judgmental and experimental with new experiences that you have with your voice while you're experimenting. You also have to be willing to connect to your vulnerability and your weaknesses and use those as inspiration for you to be creative. If you can do both of those things, you can learn to be a singer like this. Are you going to sound like Tyler Joseph? No. But if you would like more help unlocking this kind of approach with your voice, with your musical art, click the link below and join my free voice course. I'll help you pull out all sorts of things you never knew. Oh, it's not a heavy sound. It's light, playful, bright, smiled. Oh. And though no one person is ever going to sound like Tyler Joseph, we can do things when we're pulling from other artists that help us introduce new character into our own voices by playing with what we think we hear other singers doing. Not to sound like them, but to experiment with what might happen with our voice. And you just heard that happen with me over that line. Whoa, too heavy. Whoa, Notice I'm okay with my voice doing stupid things while I'm experimenting. Whoa, 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 sigh into whoa, whoa. There's some interesting things happening simply because I'm paying attention. Cool or not, that forgetting about what's behind us and moving towards, with hope, what's in front of us. I wish I could do that better. Whether it's regret or holding on to what you feel has been done to you, there's very little worth in getting lost in what we can't change. And what's so cool about the way that Tyler Joseph connects with his writing, and it's different in this song than it is in a lot of other songs, but you know, his propensity to get this sigh or it is so connected to what he's saying, what he's communicating in his vulnerability, right? That's the key to a great singer like Tyler Joseph, is his willingness to be vulnerable, which you see and hear in the midst of this lyric, this video, and other places. One of the most wonderfully real and connected and vulnerable artists of our time, in my opinion. Thank you, Tyler Joseph. Thank you, 21 Pilots. I've supremely enjoyed this new song. I can't wait for the new album. Be sure that you've watched this comprehensive vocal breakdown of Tyler Joseph. And again, if you would like more help diving into your own voice to unlock all that it can really do, you have more potential than you think. Click that link below and join my free voice course. We'll see you for more. Find yourself consistently sharp? Your listening environment to your own voice is off. Probably you're hearing too much of your voice relative to what you are singing over or with. Fix your monitoring so that you can get a better balance. If you find yourself being consistently flat, try lowering the key of whatever you're singing so that you can think consistently down on the more challenging notes instead of straining upward to those notes. If you're all over the place with your pitch, cherry pick a short phrase out of a familiar song or one that you happen to be working on. Don't try to hit all the pitches. Speak the lyrics and then gradually introduce some of the more challenging pitches within that phrase. This is going to help you focus on expression before pitch. Once you focus on expression, your pitch will unconsciously fall. This is my first Sebastian Bach vocal analysis. Skid Row, wasted time. There's a lot to be learned and internalized about powerful, healthy, mixed voice in Sebastian Bach's voice. Before we get into the song, let's listen to him talk a little bit.
I can remember watching my aunt and my mom make French fries, singing, "Let me stand next to your fire," you know, all this stuff. You know, what is that? That's rock and roll, son. Or driving in a van, listening to my dad sing, "This is the end," not realizing the lyrics. "Father, yes, son, I want to kill you." Dad, what is this all about?
Hear how playful and free he is, even in just his conversation. Let me stand next to your fire. Like doing all these things that are modifying his vocal weight, his pitch, and timbre. He brings that right into his singing, and I will assert it didn't start with his singing. This is part of his personality that he's bringing into his singing, making his vast range and his amazing expressiveness easier to do because he's doing it in normal speech.
That's Jim Morrison, boy.
Goes on with his notes, the way he grows them and like nurtures them and arcs his phrases. It's priceless. This stuff can be learned and honed and done by anyone. It just takes the right mindset, the right approach, and being non-judgmental towards yourself as you're figuring things out. If you'd like more help with the foundations necessary to sing like this, click the link below and join my free voice course. And I'll help you pull things out of your voice you never knew were there. You can find that link in the pinned comment or the video description. Let's go back and listen to right before the chorus and into the chorus. I want to point out a couple things that are huge giveaways for developing your mixed voice. And mind starts very clean, right? Let's take that part first. This is light. Hein! Hein! Go into head voice first. Hein! Ha! Dying cat! Row! And then grow it into a brasher upper mix. Hein! With a really open vowel. Let your voice quiver as you're working with the support a little bit. Hein! Then, as we close it, just like he's doing, as he goes to that E vowel, use that E vowel as a way to let your voice falter a bit more. Hein! Like that. But as you close the vowel and you feel your voice start to quiver, compress into it. Hein! Now, keep thinking that pitch and start compressing before you close the vowel. It's still going to do that a little bit. Now let's work on the compression airflow balance and work on forming that vowel more forward in our mouth as we shape the tone with the back of our mouth. More on vowel shapes and support and all that in my course. I started to compress before I changed the vowel, focused on forward vowel placement, and I didn't totally crack up, but I was able to add extra weight at the very end of that phrase. Now let's work on the ascent. This as we go up into our middle mix. That's going to require that we change our placement. Go a little bit more back, nasal and crow. When you think of what? When you think of what? No. When you think of what you've left behind. Yes. You hear how it arcs. I'm bringing in and out compression, and I'm subtly changing the placement as I'm singing the notes. I'm not just locked into one way of producing notes. I wouldn't be able to even do it. What you've left behind. That actually could lead to some interesting singing. But it's not what he's doing. He is much more controlled by allowing himself to abandon into different shapes, postures, and resonances. This is jazz. This is awesome stuff. I mean, he's amazing with it. But this is a combination of different placements and coordinations that can be learned and honed in your own voice. Get the notes first. Head voice. Grow it into a brash mix. Lengthen on desperation. On desperation. Now, something he's doing at the end there is really key to his overall flavor and sound. He lengthens his vocal tract almost to a yawn as he's embracing nasality. Sean! Yeah! And then, of course, compressing. But there's this sense that he's getting rid of some of that whine. Ration! That sounds all right. This sounds cooler. Ration! Yeah! Yeah! Part of it's mouth shape, part of it's just making sure you're singing with a very open throat. Educational for me to go back and listen to this song again. Like I said, I haven't listened to some of this stuff in years and years and years. So thank you for the suggestions. I think you can see that if you want to work on your mixed voice and your power and distortion up there, this is an artist to do that with. If you want more help with your mixed voice, be sure to check out this playlist. And again, if you would like help developing the freedom to sing in these ways, and you'd like to do so without feeling judged, click that link below and join my free course. Finding and working with your mixed voice is about learning how to thicken and thin your vocal cord engagement. Independently of pitch and independently of pressure or support. For most singers, this is really difficult because they've learned to associate the sensation of thinner vocal cord engagement with simply singing higher. Start experimenting with thick and thin vocal cord engagement over a comfortable, higher, middle, traditionally chest voice note for you. It helps to move your placement around so that you're resonating towards your soft palate and through your nasal passage. But make sure as you're experimenting to move in and out of this placement so that you can tell the difference and you're not getting stuck in one tense situation.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have thoughts? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have thoughts? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share? I'm gonna spread love, oh hey.